Stephen A. Smith ripped the Golden State Warriors, and could general manager Bob Myers actually leave? There are growing concerns that the best executive in basketball, who's really been the guy who's kept this team together, who's developed some of this talent and identified the talent for all of these Warriors teams to have success and win NBA championships, could leave this organization when his contract expires after this year. I'm Chase Sr. You're watching Warriors Today. We appreciate all of you for tuning in. Before we get started, just want to remind you that there is a super thanks out there on YouTube. It's a new function where you can donate outside of live videos. And all you have to do is click that heart icon with the $sign to it. And if you really like the content that we give you, for free by the way, you can basically give us somewhat of a tip. We do appreciate the support. If you do send in a super thanks worth any amounts of money, we will give you a shout out on our next video. All right, let's dive into the latest Golden State Warriors news, rumors, analysis, and buzz. And we begin with Stephen A. Smith. Ripped the Warriors this morning and said that he's disappointed in the Dubs up to this point. And honestly, I don't disagree with him. Coming off an NBA championship, this team has been very, very disappointing because they've been lackluster. They've been way too inconsistent, way too Jekyll and Hyde. We thought that the Warriors were going to have an opportunity to really run it back, and I still believe that there's something in there that they haven't yet shown. But up to this point, yeah, they have been a disappointment. So Stephen A. Smith on First Take said this: before we move on, let me mention the Golden State Warriors. I'm so disappointed. Steph Curry is not there. Klay Thompson went quiet in the fourth quarter against the Lakers. We get all that. You just expected to see more. They're 29-30. They seem to be a shell of what they were defensively. I can't forget to mention Draymond Green. All of them are accountable. Steve Kerr is accountable. And with the way that this season has gone, really from preseason, when Draymond Green socked Jordan Poole in the face, there hasn't been that level of consistency, that level of continuity, that free-flowing style of basketball in which a lot of the players on this roster enjoy playing with one another. Something has been amiss. They've been inconsistent offensively. Defensively, they haven't been the same team. They suffered from a lot of injuries, right? Andrew Wiggins being out, Steph Curry getting injured a couple of times certainly is not ideal. And for this team to be 29-30, 59 games played, 82-game regular season schedule, that's unacceptable, honestly, because this team should have championship aspirations. And up to this point, they haven't lived up to those lofty expectations of trying to go back-to-back. So for Stephen A. Smith, not blasphemous. I think that he's actually right in this regard. All right, make sure you subscribe to the show. Please help me out. I took over this channel March 1 of 2021, and here we are, almost March 1, 2023. At the time, a couple of years ago, we had 13,000 subscribers. Next up, I'm trying to get to 50,000 subscribers, and then we're halfway there from YouTube sending us a plaque. 2,945 people away from the great milestone of 50K subs. So if you want year-round coverage on the Dubs, support your boy, help me out, and subscribe today for free. Western Conference standings. This is where the Warriors are. Man, they're in danger of missing the playoffs. Like, I do expect them to maybe get into that play-in tournament, but even that would be disappointing. We saw how that played out a couple of years ago. But here's the thing about the West. Things still are up for grabs. Things still are wide open. Nuggets, first place, 42-18. They're having a great year. A sizable lead on the Memphis Grizzlies, who are all bark and no bite. Number 3, it's the Sacramento Kings, having a really good season with Mike Brown, former Warriors assistant. They're 33-25. The Clippers were kind of bad there for a little while, but they've improved a bit. Scary team in that 4 position at 33-28. Kevin Durant, when he comes back, when the Suns start to get clicking, look out. Phoenix is 32-28. And then after that, really closely contested here between the 6th-seeded Dallas Mavericks and the 10th-seeded Golden State Warriors. Mavs, T-Wolves, Pelicans, Jazz, Warriors, they're right in the thick of that play-in tournament / one of those final seeds in the regular big dance in the Western Conference playoff hunt. So Stephen A. Smith is disappointed. I'm disappointed. Are you in this basketball team? Y for yes, N for no, and make sure you let us know down in the comment section right now. Warriors Today is presented today thanks to our sportsbook partner, BetUS. You can get a 125% deposit bonus if you head to chatsports.com/bet, promo code chat125. You see the Warriors there in 10th place. Their odds to win the West, they're like, what, I think 10-1 odds right now. So that's very, very fascinating for a couple of reasons, because they're still in the hunt, but also for the sake of this, they have really good favorable odds for you if you're confident in this team and you want to make some bang on your buck. Let's round out today's show with this. Bob Myers, is he going to leave the Golden State Warriors? I hope not, because this organization would be absolutely screwed if the best executive in basketball departs this organization, because guys like this and talent evaluators like this do not grow on trees. And for it to come from Monty Poole of NBC Sports Bay Area, who may be, other than Anthony Slater, the most tapped-in Warriors reporter, that's when it starts to get a little bit concerning. That's when it starts to become a little bit worrisome. Monty Poole with this. There is some concern that this could be the last dance. If Bob Myers were to leave, I know Steve Kerr would be devastated and Steph Curry will be disappointed. There's really no other way to put this for Golden State. If Bob Myers were to leave the Warriors and no longer be their talent evaluator and general manager, this would be an unmitigated disaster for this organization, as well as owner Joe Lacob. Joe Lacob has to do everything in his power to not let Bob Myers go, because if he were to hit the market as a basketball executive, honestly, there might be 5 teams in the NBA who are good at GM. Everybody else would be interested in his services. You think about his body of work. Started off as a powerful basketball agent, but then he comes to the Warriors, and he's a part of this front office that finds, grooms, helps develop Steph Curry. He matches him up with Klay Thompson. They get Draymond Green in the second round. They've been able to bring in all of these types of really important pieces, like an Andrew Bogut or a David Lee before they were even winning championships. Andre Iguodala goes on to win NBA Finals MVP, and this is a Warriors organization that has been on an all-time absolutely great run, and in the center of all of it, please do not underestimate the power and the influence of Bob Myers. This guy is the best executive in basketball for a reason, and he's been at the forefront of all of the Warriors' success over the last near decade, led by Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Steve Kerr, as well as Bob Myers. And this is a guy who's continuously made some really, really good picks in the NBA draft. He's plucked some noteworthy players in NBA free agency. He was able to trade away D'Angelo Russell and get a number 2 pick for Andrew Wiggins. That was an all-time fleecing. Like, this guy is so good, so valuable, and the best at what he does at his craft, which is really, really hard to do. Cannot underestimate the influence that he's had and how much it would be devastating for this team and this organization moving forward. Because at some point, you're going to have to rebuild and retool without Steph Curry, without the power of Bob Myers. So keep Bob in the Bay. Bob in the Bay. Bob in the Bay. Bob in the Bay. Type Bob down in the comment section. And as you go down there, subscribe to the channel. Don't be a fool. Lock us in. This is the best Warriors channel here on YouTube, and we appreciate all of you. So have a fantastic weekend.